Hello everyone, welcome back to That Catholic Gamer 2 Plays. This is the police. We are on day 10. Excuse me if I sound just a little tired. I am still getting used to this new sleeping schedule, so we're gonna see what it's like to record a LP at 7:30 in the morning. Representative of Orthodox Church may appear in Freiburg. Freiburg authorities halt campaign, citing safety concern. Local resident announces mayor for theft of antique necklaces. Oh, wow. Alright. Need to take my car to the shop today. Can you spare me today? Yeah, sure. You've earned it. Mole. Alright, Armstrong, DeBrito, you guys are going to be up. Our, let's see. Our basically almost all female cast is up and ready to go. Let's go ahead and start the day. We'll put on, Chopin. Chopin. I'm not a complete idiot. Let's go ahead and do that. Get all classy up in this joint. Alright, prosecutor's office. Let's see, don't forget to prepare for the upcoming meeting with the prosecutors. Hearing is July 25th, 1 day left. Take care of the hero. Richard Van Dal is today's hero, having pulled a drowning Senator Wallace Green from the river. The municipality, on Senator's recommendation, has decided to reward the outstanding officer. The ceremony is scheduled for July 27th, and the event will be open to the press as well as McGree's family, which personally thank the police. Make sure nothing unusual happens to his officers, will be able to attend the ceremony and receive his medal without complications. Interesting. Van Dal, huh? Well, he's not on staff today, right? City Hall. Okay, so we can upgrade. What do we want to do? I want to request a raise first. And then we want a slot, and then let's go ahead and do that. I want a police station. Shift A. What am I doing here? I'm not... Oh, the labor market. Gosh, it's been... detective slots, personnel. I think this was because Stovall left? Yeah, actually, I think that's what it is. So we want to put somebody back. Force Trebor, strong. Van Dal is on shift A. Who do we want? Shift A is actually shaping up better. That used to be the weaker one of our group. Although both of them seem to be shaping up all right. Who do we want on staff for? In some respects, I guess it doesn't matter because we can hire somebody and then we can shuffle people around if we need to. Do we have another Trebor? Yes. That's interesting. Yeah. Let's look at Robert Trebor and another Robert Trebor. Wow. Okay. You know what? Just for the sake of my sanity, let's hire somebody for Shift B this time. And Kunihiko Ozaki. There you go. Alright. Attempted murder in the suburb. Interesting. Sometimes your officers will arrest only one or two criminals, but when you're taking down a whole group, it's better to bring a paddy wagon. A truly professional staff can cope without the need for special transport, but most officers prefer a paddy wagon when the situation calls for it. Too bad the department doesn't have the money for one. You're no kidding. Ice cream truck was struck by a schoolboy. The ambulance arrived quickly, but the boy was declared dead on the scene. The nearby residents are enraged and demand justice from the driver of the van. He's currently holed up inside the ambulance, while the paramedics try to reason with the crowd. The situation is quickly spiraling out of control. Alright, gosh, who do we want to send on this? It's only one officer. Let's send Yancey. Good luck, man. That's the Sands Ranch. Interesting. Okay. Any investigations ongoing? Gangs? No active gangs, no archived cases. Deputy. Hire a snitch. Play an employee to gather important information about you. I think we're gonna go ahead and do this. Let's see. Yancey is very loyal. So let's go ahead and make her even more loyal. Let's do that. Let's close that off. Sure, starting to get into the kind of the corruption portion of this and a little bit more earnestness. So it's kind of a quiet day so far. Let's see, Christopher Sand. Jack, some black gangster hit one of our shops. It's too much for us to deal with right now. Can you help? Sure. Let's send J Boogie, Asano, and Tsubaki. You know, because this is a fairly legitimate, even though it's coming from Sand, it's still, you know, assault. So we can, I don't feel too bad about, getting this out. Okay. Situation is more serious than we thought. Gonna send Kachi, Purdy, and Price. Leave Austin on staff just in case, but this is turning out to be a very busy day all of a sudden. Whew. Already we're running into stuff. Mafia assignment. Jack, we have something going down today at the courthouse at 18:30. We wouldn't want any policemen crashing the party. I think 6,000 should be enough for such a request. Okay, well, we might have to either do something. Let's see, sawmill. Okay, now the man calling the police station reporting that screams have been coming from the sawmill for over an hour. The heck is going on? What's the guy gonna do to get a little sleep around here? You better go check it out. We'll have to wait for our squad to come back because got a lot of people out there at the moment. Okay. I'm gonna send Austin, Tsubaki, Asano, and J Boogie because that's all we got left. And then Henry Sand on the road. Boyd, I manage a large fleet of vehicles and I want to organize a shop for my new drivers. They have to learn how to behave on the road so your patrolmen will never need to look twice at our cars. Please send 3 of your best officers. They'll ride all day with my people, explain the intricacies of traffic flow and police monitoring. I've heard about the problems your department faces, particularly your obsolete fleet of police vehicles, so I'd be happy to donate a paddy wagon. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, attempted murder report. Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Good stuff. They'll come back. Okay, we're gonna send out Price, Yancey, and Purdy. Let's see. They're gonna ride all day. I guess I have no choice in the matter if I want that paddy wagon. So it looks like we've locked these 3 officers out. Robbery at a drugstore. Okay. Attempted emergency call from an all-night drugstore. Addict is attempting to gain unlawful entry. Violently threatens a female pharmacist, demanding she open the cabinets. Kachi, go to it. This might be bad, but we'll see. The sawmill is surrounded by a 9-foot fence, and the gates are locked from the inside. Shouts can be heard from within. Break the gate open. The man threatening young boy with a circular saw. The man is screaming hysterically. Take aim to shoot and kill the criminal. Pounce on the criminal. Take aim at the criminal and shoot to kill. I don't think we have a choice in the matter. Yep, there we go. That was the correct way to handle that. Awesome. Alright. Well, Kachi's gonna come up. Henry Sand report. Chief, we rode along and went over the basics with our empty-headed drivers. We're done for the day. Meanwhile, Mr. Sand dropped off a brand new paddy wagon. Oh, it was the Sands. It's a nice piece of equipment. Too good for the idiots we'll be packing inside. Cool. Now we got ourselves something to contain people with. Alright. Courthouse. Oh, this is the courthouse. During sentencing, a serial killer by the name of Albert Ramirez seized a gun from the holster of the court, and after shooting several witnesses, barricaded himself inside the courtroom. A young stenographer has been taken hostage. Alright, well, we're going to have to respond to that in a second. A robbery report. Officer caught. Officer unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Kachi, you the man. You the man. Well, woman, technically speaking. But she is awesome. Single-handedly taking down the criminal element of Freeburg. Alright, let's do this. Serial killer. I know Stan's gonna be probably upset with this, but you got a serial killer shooting up a courthouse, man. That's not like something that I can just ignore. Unbelievable. I mean, what am I supposed to do in that case, man? You know, Sand is For a guy who is supposed to be like the mafia and all slick, avoiding stuff, it was really sloppy. Homicide in the courthouse, the situation is already more serious than we thought, requesting reinforcements. You know what, Kachi? You go up there and single-handedly solve this situation. Okay, let's see. We got back. Unfortunately, we're going to miss this assault in the residential area because we're out of cops. You got a situation in the courthouse area. But you know what? You know, they got assault. What is this? An assault emergency medical service call from a woman complaining of chest pains. While treating him, the man suddenly attacked one of the EMTs, shouting wildly about global pharmaceutical company. Other personnel managed to escape and call the police. Unfortunately, we will not get to that one. That'll be the first time we actually fail something. Yeah, you're disappointed, Sand. You know why? Don't forget who your friends are. We don't want any more trouble. Sand, you can't have people shooting up a courthouse. It's not like it's something that the chief of police can ignore. An assault. We skipped that one. Offender escaped. Civilian was killed, yes, unfortunately. Very sorry about that. But there was a situation at the courthouse. You know how it goes. We do need more staff. The game is getting to the point where it's reminding us that we need to start hiring people. And then we did request new slots. So it'll work out. We'll end the day. Which is disappointing, only because it's the first time we literally had nobody to be able to answer calls. So we're at the checkpoint for day 11. It is July 25th, Thursday. All City Hall employees awarded company cars for personal use. Freeburg to host semifinals of Youth Hockey League. Small drug dealers invade Freeburg. Mr. Boyd, why did you send your staff officers to the feminist protests? It's my job. It was a major event the police were obliged to attend. In your opinion, did any of the participants at the protest pose any actual danger to others? Absolutely. There's over 50 people gathered in a single place. There's always a chance something will go off. Mr. Boyd, you're married, are you not? Why? Why does this have to do with my work? What are your professional feelings about women? The same as men. As far as I'm concerned, they're the same as men. Some women are great, and some I don't care much for. Mr. Boyd, did you give orders to suppress the police protest by force? I'm going to blame City Hall for that one. The mayor gave me a direct order in writing. I had no choice but to carry it out.
In my new role as corrupt official, I had to give up some of my favorite habits. I couldn't turn off my phone when my head ached. Couldn't sleep till noon on Saturday and let the rest of HQ take up the slack. No more days off to go fishing. But my weekly visit to the old Colony Club was more like tradition. One night a week, I absorbed cigar smoke, the vague smell of alcohol, the stench of urine, all mixed with toxic levels of old drunken belches. Same picture it was 30 years ago. Tradition's gotta be honored. And to stay faithful to the tradition, you've got to respect the standard rituals. When you're about to roll out of the club, you need to take a deep breath and count to 100. If your stomach doesn't do a backflip, you should be good to make it home. This time I only got up to 60. I was interrupted.
Why? You look even better than you do on TV.
There's nothing more impolite than approaching people in the alley at the old Colony. This is the most private place in the city. All who enter here dirty their shoes with the most elite stream of vomit in Freeburg. This asphalt has been blessed by judges, lawyers, artists, businessmen, and all our politicians. Takes a lot of balls to crash the party. My head was a drunken haze, but I knew who he was. A cartoon gangster suit straight out of Dick Tracy. Fancy voice, fruit cologne, sassy strut. That's how the newspapers described Vikas Varga, rising star in Freeburg's criminal underworld. He appeared out of nowhere, and with the support of the local punks, Varga broke all the old rules of organized crime. He killed those who could not be killed, traded what could not be traded, and robbed those who could not be robbed. In just a single month, this man had gathered an incredible amount of power. He's been called everything from a clown to a madman to a criminal genius, and more often than not, he's called a low-class upstart short on ideas. But if Vargas was one of the old crime bosses, he'd have been cut into pieces and fed to the river. Look past this guy's arrogance, and there's something about him. The city is still deciding what to do with him. Meanwhile, he's burning down the houses of old city mobsters. Not the best time to talk, Mr. Varga.
Well, you know my name. I'm flattered, although not very surprised, to be honest. I might be a little short on manners. Like they say in your fair city, with the right manners, you can go anywhere. Well, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay right here.
Even the criminal world needs manners, Mr. Varga. And one of them is this. Don't interfere with a drunken cop who's trying to take a shit and puke at the same time.
Oh, you exaggerate. But is Freeburg always so gentle with its officers? You've been a bit roughed up lately.
I see you already know Freeburg quite well, Mr. Varga.
Well, I love to learn and look around. But I do know that the inhabitants of this fair city should be friends, Jack. Maybe it's true I don't have the best manners. After all, it's only polite for friends to share their phone numbers. This city of yours moves so fast. I feel like I'm hooked on amphetamines all over again. You wake up in the morning full of ideas, and by nightfall, you've all had each other killed. So don't wait too long to call. I don't mind if you're drunk. It's all the more fun. I'll be stoned myself, most likely. Hell, I'm a little stoned right now. It's the only way to live in this place. I like your city, Jack. I'm here to stay.
If it weren't for the phone number written on my arm, I probably wouldn't have remembered the conversation in the morning. But there was no reason to worry. I'd be getting a reminder soon.
Nope, and that's it for day 11, I guess. All right. City Hall responsible for violent dispersal of feminist protest? Yes, they are. Orthodox priests bribe mayor? Interesting. Let's see. Students volunteer to help farmers. All right. Well, I guess we're not doing anything yet. Lots of footsteps.
My morning ritual was plagued by the smell of Vickers Varga's fruity cologne. It was like the sharp citrus scent was chasing me around the house, as if Vickers was right there in my living room. When I finally realized the smell was coming from a big basket of oranges, it didn't put me any more at ease. I'd opened my door to lots of threatening mail, evidence of criminal wrongdoing, even a dead ferret or two. But fruit? Never. You the fruit guy?
Excuse me?
Was it you that brought the basket of oranges?
Nah, it was here when I arrived.
Fine. So who are you?
Today, I'm your driver.
And where are we driving?
To work.
That's it?
Yeah, we have to make an important stop along the way.
Where?
The ranch.
What ranch?
Just the ranch.
Fine. The morning seemed surreal, and I took in the magic. Why wreck it with meaningless chatter? As my tight-lipped chauffeur drove an hour through God knows where, I started to feel like I was in the middle of a bad dream, probably lying bloody and concussed in the alley behind the old Colony Club, my nose buried in a rotten orange peel. But no, this was no dream. The silence was real, the sound of the engine was real, the dust was real enough too. And there was the ranch over the horizon. It all seemed familiar. The Sand family's overbearing mansion has been the talk of the headlines for decades, but few have managed to get closer than a few miles. I guess I'm just lucky. I didn't know you took private meetings, Mr. Sand.
Only if I expect good company.
I'm surprised my company ranks at all.
Today, yes. Today is a special day.
So it seems.
Do you often go to the old Colony Club, Jack?
Every week.
Meet any interesting people there?
As a rule, no.
Sometimes you make a date, right? Sometimes make new friends.
Sometimes, I guess. But that's not why I go.
And why?
I consider it a hobby.
A hobby. Do you know anything about my hobbies?
Well, judging by the half-dozen animal skins I stepped on walking over here, it's not much of a reach to say you like hunting.
Love it. Well, I say that now. It seemed so tedious when I was a child. Took ever so long. But now I'm older. I've developed a new talent.
What talent is that?
Patience. The will to wait for the right moment. Let's say you want a deer. You know, you deserve it. You've even decided what dishes its meat will go to and where you'll mount its horns. But to get that deer, you've got to wait. To sit in the bushes and stay nice and quiet. Professional hunters will tell you that the hunt is a rare craft. There are many rules. It's shrouded in mystery and ancient skill. Well, that's all complete nonsense. To get a deer, you just sit on the sidelines for a long enough time, pinpoint the moment when it's finally time to shoot. I learned the talent, Jack, but not like you. Oh, Jack, you truly are the master.
I don't understand.
Oh, come on, Jack. I know about the 500,000. I know your plan. Kendrick told me everything. Needless to say, I'm impressed. While some people learn to hold their breath for minutes on end and not to rustle the leaves too loudly, why you decided to just become the foliage. You turned yourself into a bush, surrounded by deer who've been so fruitfully multiplying for decades. But all this time you've held your rifle at the ready. Forgive an old man his imagery, Jack. I've the heart of a poet, I confess.
Look, I don't know what was said between you and Kendrick, but it sounds like you got it wrong.
Oh, I think I understand everything just fine. And I think we understand each other quite well. Jack, in the coming war, we'll make excellent partners.
What war?
One war falls upon every generation. My grandfather drove out the Ambersons back when he was 27. My father destroyed that psychopath gangster Maurice Bell when he was a sprightly 30. At 69, I'd begun to think my war had passed me over. But my time has come at last. Tomorrow Vicus Varga declares war, and I'm obliged to answer.
So, we're talking about Varga now.
I don't know how he thinks. I don't even know whether he plans his actions or not. I can't divine his purpose. Hell, I don't even know where he comes from. He's a man not of our breed, wouldn't you say? But when he arrived here, I invited him in, told him we could work together. An official invitation penned in my own hand and written on some very expensive paper. And can you imagine his reply? A fruit basket. What sense can be made of such a message?
I guess it means whatever you want it to.
Precisely.
I'm late for work, Mr. Sand.
You know, Jack, I could just give you 500,000 right now, cash, whatever denominations you like. But I would never insult you so. If I went stalking my prey for so many years, I wouldn't want someone else to shoot it for me. I understand you, Jack, and I'll never ask you for anything that's contrary to your nature. Just think about our conversation. Think about it, and call me.
Like I said, it's a whole new life, and I've had to give up some old habits. One of them, keeping away from things that don't concern me. Now I can't afford the luxury. This spotlight I'm under, concerns is all I got.
Alright, so basically the next choice in this game is to decide which of the Mafia guys are you going to assist throughout over the next, I think it's like 2 weeks or something. I only know this because I was watching some other Let's Plays and decided to stop after about day 20 because a lot of the story and events are pretty close to the same. So by about 8 more days, I'm not going to have any idea what's going on. So the idea is that, but this is also one of those things where, that I've realized, is that this game, basically kind of forces you to get down and dirty. So it's not so much if you can avoid corruption altogether, but how corrupt are you going to become in order to achieve the goals of the game. In this particular choice, I feel like that Vicus Varga represents like the new blood, kind of the crazy stuff, and Christopher Sand represents the old guard of the Mafia. And so I feel like that it's really in Boyd's best interest to help Sand, just because you don't know what Varga's going to do or how much trouble he's going to stir up. Whereas if you help Sand, then he'll basically owe you, and that might help us in the future in case we have, maybe an opportunity to take them down, or at least keep crime, stable in a way. So I think it's in Boyd's best interest to help Sand, so we're going to go with that.
Tell him it's Boyd.
All right. We have Shift B back again because we had a couple of those days where we didn't actually do anything. So we're back on track here. We're going to go ahead and pull up the, let's see here. Billabong. Lem Barnard, Bob Bernard. Haven't played this one yet, so let's go ahead and put on some tune skis. Interesting. Slightly ominous. Oh, great. We're cutting the department's budget. Alright, you lose 1 job slot. Oh, gosh. It's really a toss-up. Let's see. Okay, well, we're going to lose 1 job slot. Removing an occupied slot will automatically fire an employee. No empty slots. Let's see. Who do we want to can, basically? You know what, really, Price? You're out. Alright, request result for City Hall. Cannot meet your request at this time for job officer. Cannot meet your request at this time. Cannot meet your request. Take care of the hero. Tomorrow's gonna be the day. Don't let anything happen to him. And that was the guy on the other one. Okay, we did get our salary raised, though. Awesome. Alright, so today is our last day with the Price. And then we're going to have to figure out something. Be a little more judicious about who we send and how often we send people, rather than maxing out the slots. Having said that, people are starting to come along. Massive fight. We received a call from the club manager, said that a brawl broke out in the main hall involving over 20 men. Security are keeping back because some of the combatants are carrying knives. Several wounded already lying on the dance floor, but no one knows why the mayhem broke out. Alright, we're gonna have to send our best. Kachi, Yancey, and Austin, and we'll send the paddy wagon because there are a bunch of people. So let's go ahead and do that. It's kind of a massive fight. Try to do our best to keep people, to keep check, but we're gonna have to do some reorganizing for the shifts because I have a feeling shift B, well, I'm gonna probably, and since I have to fire Price, I'm gonna have to start adding people. Okay, the situation is more serious than we thought. We're requesting reinforcements. Gosh. We're gonna send Azaki and Subaki. What does that leave us with? No, send J Boogie because he's got the bar. Everybody else, we'll keep them back in case another call comes up, like right here. Okay, as assault. 2 teens walking their dog got into an argument. Eventually, one of them unleashed a dog on the other. The police were called. Girl who's riding her bike nearby. Okay. Send Purdy and Price. That way we got Subaki and Asano to handle anything that may come up. It's gonna be a tough shift, I think. So we'll have to figure out how to reshuffle some stuff. You know, it probably maybe should have fired the the extra detective on shift A. Massive fight that broke out. Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Good stuff, everybody. Good job all around. Alright, the boy is struggling on the ground, barely holding off an angry crowd trying to grab him by the throat. Fire shots in the air, hit the dog with a taser, pull the dog's collar. Let's hit the dog with a taser. The dog lets the boy escape and the owner starts to flee. Borrow the girl's bicycle. Order the teenage to halt. Run after him. Let's get him down. Offender caught, officers unharmed. Good stuff. Wanted to turn Price into a real cop, but that didn't happen. Okay. Parishioner Maria Serpentine reported the sounds of gunshots inside a church. A bearded man in a hat entered the confessional. Then a minute later, I heard a few gunshots. Then the man calmly left book, take off his hat, and crossed himself and sat down on the pew. I think he's praying. We're going to send Subaki and Asano. We will not send a SWAT because we don't want to spook the situation just yet. Maybe we can take the offender in without any issues. No active gangs or cases to look at. So we only get the SWAT team for 1 day. So that's the reason why we want to hold on to them. It's only 1 guy so far. Let's see what we got here. Homicide report. Oh no! Offender escaped. Officer dead. Oh goodness. Loot found. Non-automatic weapon. Probably should have brought the SWAT. Even more importantly, Asano is dead. That's a real shame. Maybe we should have brought the SWAT, huh? Let's see. Officers found non-automatic weapon at the crime scene. What do you want to do with it? Bring it to the police station. Ask the mafia to sell it. Choices. Since this was used to kill an officer, I think we'll bring this one to the police station. Attempted murder at St. John's Hospital. Linda Howard, her words slurred, said the dentist paralyzed her in the face in the latest visit. The monster struck me with some kind of poison. Arrest him. I'm pretty sure she's confused, but we'll go ahead and send Purdy and Austin, just in case. Wow. Info. She's been on the force for 12 days. Haruyo Asano. She did not fail a single assignment. Such a shame. Such a shame. We're going to lose Price, too. So Shift B really took it on the chin today. We'll have to see what we can do. Subaki is just not going to be the same. You know, she and her and Asano were tight. So that was really rough. Attempted murder. The girl was injected with normal painkillers, so it's a false alarm. Well, you know, sometimes you make the wrong decision as the chief. You know, the responsibility just gets too much. And so with the budget cuts, you try to cut the corners. Terrorism. Interesting. An ice cream vendor noticed a suspicious black bag, which has been lying unsupervised on the bench for the past few hours. I'm going to send the SWAT, Kachi, Yancy, and Ozaki. You know, you guys do your thing, because we can't take any chances. Black bag, you know, this day and age, you know, 1950s, terrorism is the buzzword of the day. So we got to do our part to make sure that nothing else goes wrong, you know, because that would just be too much. We've already lost one officer in the line of duty. It was very sad. Officers arrive on the scene and observe there's something moving inside the bag. Stay back until the bomb squad arrives. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Good stuff. Kachi, Kachi is just basically like a cop's cop at this point. She's also my snitch. I mean, that's just how this game works. I guess that's just it, you know. Our heroes, the people we look up to, are just as crooked as the crooks sometimes. But, you know, what can you do? Okay, well, it's disappointing that each of your employees receives a weekly salary, the ones who are still alive anyway. But if you bury the paperwork, you can pull in some money from any deceased officer's salary. So long as they're alive and healthy on paper, City Hall will keep printing perfectly healthy paychecks. So we can declare this, so we can declare Asano as dead, or we can delay the paperwork and keep the body in the morgue. For every day, we have a slot that we obviously can't use, but what that means is that we can cash their paychecks, essentially. I think in this case, we're just going to declare Asano dead, because I really need to reshuffle these shifts a bit, because Asano's dead and Price is going to be fired, so I really need somebody to come on the force. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tomorrow on the next playthrough, or the next day, assign Grant to shift B to kind of fill in the gap a little bit, and then hopefully we'll be able to hire somebody new to kind of even that out, because what I really should have done, I guess, was fire Soap, and then that way I could have not necessarily kept Price. I think I would have ended up firing her anyway. She's just not growing fast enough to stay on the force. But now Shift B is kind of in a pinch, so we're gonna have to see what we do about that. Anyways, this has been going on. It's almost 40 minutes. So thank you very much for joining me. It's been that Catholic Gamer dude playing This Is the Police, and I will see you next time.